It's your favorite Compas, and this is our recap episode of week 1 of NFL free agency. We're back to our weekly episodes of Compas after a busy NFL free agency and the start of the new league year. Happy New Year! On this week's episode, we will get into the biggest signings, trades, and go over some of the big news items from the week that was in the NFL. We'll certainly discuss other NFL topics on this episode, which reminds me, Gilberto, don't you have a question for the viewers and listeners of this show?
Yes, I do, Fernando. Like you mentioned, it's been 1 week of free agency frenzy. And you know what? I'm going to keep it positive. No losers in this engagement question, but the engagement question of the week. Who is, or which is, or yeah, team, right? Which
Yeah.
team? There you go. Which team is the biggest winner from free agency week? And I got a few right here to list off: the Cowboys, the
What?
Dolphins, the
What?
Lions, the
What?
Falcons, the
What?
Broncos,
What?
49ers, or
What?
also another team. Another team. Give me another team. Let me know in the
Whack.
comments who was the biggest, most electrifying team in week 1 of NFL free agency.
So basically, who won in front of the millions and millions of NFL fans?
Winners. What?
As electric. Let's go to Dan and Daygo now and see what he's got cooking up.
Welcome, one. Welcome all to another glorious Wednesday. And you are right. It is electric. Every time your boy Dan and Daygo comes on and gets on this mic, can't even touch it. It's so hot. But anyway, you already know what it is. It is not only one day closer to the weekend, it is also the day your favorite program, Compas on the Beat, drops a new episode, and we got it all. We do it all on Compas on the Beat. And you know what? I know what you're thinking. Dan and Daygo, where the hell did you get that shirt? Well, let me tell you something. This silky smooth shirt, right? Look at that right there. Look at that right there. Silky smooth. I know I can't really twist. I'm not a good twister. I was never flexible. But on the back there, it's even bigger. Let me tell you something. We have some merch out there now. We got hoodies. What? We got stickers. What? We got shirts. What? We got hats. And do not forget, you can check those out on it. The link is in the bio. Do not forget to go over there. It is also on our Instagram page. Do not forget to go check it out at Compas on the Beat. Do not forget, we got it all. We are recapping week 1 of NFL free agency. We get into some pop culture stuff. We already know we're burying things today, and your boy Dan and Daygo is pissed off about the weekend. But that's all right. It's no worries, because you know what? I am zen now. Because here I am with you, with my compas, excited to get on to another episode. Let's see what the boys are cooking up in the earlier segments before your boy Dan and Daygo gets in there to disrupt everything and raise some hell. So anyway, it's time to get to the best damn podcast in all the universe. From all the way across the hallway, play the music, Nando!
Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I'm Fernando Ramirez. I cover the Los Angeles Chargers for the Sporting Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano, who covers the NFL for Sports Illustrated. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? I guess I should say this. Your boy somehow got darker over the weekend. A little color to my face, I feel like. That is what's up. You know, came back from a
I
nice
see a
little
lot of
trip.
light.
Yeah, maybe it's a light, but I do feel like a little red. But yeah, you need some color too, Fernando. Get out there and see the sun. It was actually a sunny day this weekend. Or one
Son,
day.
I see all. I only see
Just
rain.
Saturday. Just Saturday. That's why I said sunny weekend.
Go look at Kyle Van Noy's Twitter, for Chargers linebacker, or former Chargers linebacker, whatever, free agent linebacker, and he says, "Are we in Seattle?" Because he grew up in Seattle, and he's like, "What's with this weather?"
Where were you Saturday? Saturday was a good weekend. I was out in Temecula, kind of close to your San Diego area, but not really. But it was actually a sunny day, and I don't know if I told you about the tradition we have between me and Alonso, a compa, who's also part of the Compas team. He helps out with the website. But Alonso and I share like a annual birthday. His birthday is March 22nd. Mine is March 26th. And this is a 13th annual Gilbonso. You like that? Gilbonso? Gilberto, Alonso. And
sounds like something that gives you gas.
Wow. Okay. Gilbonso.
I'm kidding.
It's like a Tums.
It sounds like a dessert, like a fancy dessert at like a French restaurant, which gives you gas.
That sounds better. But also, shout out to Vic, the producer's partner, Megan. She called it Garbanzo. So everybody's making fun of the name. So it could be stomach pain, garbanzo. But it's Gilbonso 13. We went to Temecula, had the compas out, and also the wives. The wives were out there, but they're also compas too. So it was a good time. Got Airbnb in Temecula, enjoyed the sun, and yeah, your boys started the birthday week off with a bang.
Wives. How many of you guys are actually married?
Nobody. Well, Victor will soon join that list, but yeah.
Hey, there you go. So he'll be the first one?
I think so. Yeah, actually, unless somebody got divorced and they didn't tell us, but
This guy. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. No, I didn't really do anything. I mean, what was it? No, Saturday just oh no, yeah, we went out to dinner with some family members. So they're here from Mexico, so that was pretty cool. I hadn't seen so it's my dad's best friend. We hadn't seen their kids in years. Like we had seen each other real quick, but we hadn't seen each other in years. So to sit down, have a meal, and discuss like, oh hey, what's been going on in the last 6 years? It's crazy that it had been 6 years that we hadn't seen each other. But
what did you guys eat?
we went to Barbusa, an Italian restaurant in Little Italy. It was delicioso.
Not the spaghetti factory, which you recommended to me one time.
No. That was because you were gonna come down here and you weren't gonna see me. So I was like, okay, here you go. Here's my crap review. No, when you came down to actually see me, Vic and you went to El Indio. That was a good
that's true.
Good Mexican restaurant. Yeah. And then obviously I took you to Lolita's that one time. So that's what. By the way, I saw a post on Instagram the other day that was is Tacos El Gordo bomb or is it terrible? And I put Tacos El Gordo's disgusting in Tijuana, San Diego, LA, Las Vegas, wherever you want it. So I like completely crapped all over it. It had like 800 likes on it. And people were actually asking me.
You told me the story. I forgot when, but at that point it was like 50 likes. So that really blew up.
Yeah, no, it blew up. So then people kept on asking me, well, where a good place to go in San Diego? And I gave some people some recommendations. One guy, I guess, came this weekend and he's like, bro, I went to El Indio. That was really good. I was like, bro, I'm telling you, like, don't go to Tacos El Gordo. That shit, or that is expensive. It's not good. I'm like, my buddies who were drunk had that in Vegas and they said it was not good. So there you go. You have to
Fernando, speaking of mentioning Alonso, because we do have two websites. Caroline built the Compas on the Beat merch.com website, which by the way, get a hoodie. Alonso helped us out with the main website, compasonthebeat.com. We're still building it. But we need to make you do a list of the best taco restaurants in San Diego and LA, and I'm sure it'll do well on the internet.
That would actually be interesting. But and obviously we can get recommendations from. I remember Dominic Mysterio gave us a recommendation. He said Ortiz's. Hopefully in a couple of weeks when we're at WrestleMania, we ask Rey Mysterio. See what they're not doing too well right now, Gilbert, but maybe the Compas can help them mend fences and come together. But
Dominic Mysterio's on probation, but
he got arrested down here in San Diego a couple of months ago, right before Christmas. So not a good hey people, by the way, it's WWE. Don't freak out there. Don't be like, wow, you guys are like these assholes talking about people getting arrested. Relax. But yeah, no, definitely good to see. It's always good to see people that you hadn't seen in a while. So definitely awesome to do that. So the Temecula house, was it cool?
Yeah, it kind of felt like a reality TV, like a real world house,
that's where they do a lot of those second rate like love shows and all that stuff that you see on YouTube. That's where they do them out in the Temecula area.
All we needed was like a booth to do interviews and just make fun of things that happened throughout the whole trip. And like, I can't believe Victor was doing that or so-and-so was doing that. So maybe next time.
This person pissed in the pool. How can they do that?
Yeah. And they'll be sponsored by Compas on the Beat. By the way, I made everybody wear a hoodie on Compas on the Beat hoodies. Check out on Compas on the Beat Instagram or my Instagram. So they were making jokes that I was just promoting everything. But they all wore the hoodies and that was pretty cool.
Definitely. Gilbert, it is time for the opening drive. Compas opening drive.
Sponsored by Compas hoodies.
Oh, there you go. Exactly. That's what I was gonna ask you. That's a nice little hoodie you got on. Speaking of hoodies, Gilbert, where could the good folks that follow Compas on the Beat, that have been following Compas on the Beat, people like Karen, who obviously we love Karen. Karen's been at Compas from the beginning. Where can she go find some Compas merch?
Oh, Karen knows because she's one of the first ones to put it in order. And anybody who put it in order the first week of this, kind of trial and error website, I appreciate you. We've learned so much. We want to keep it going. But shout out to Karen, one of the early ones. And Yeah, we're trying to do giveaway. So remember, we're trying to get a giveaway a hoodie when we get to 900 subscribers. We're already at 850, so we're halfway there. And then another hoodie if you sign up to the newsletter, Compas on the Beat. I'll see your email on there and I'll put you on there. So I'm trying to give away a bunch of stuff, but check it out, Compas on the Beat merch.com. Anything you can buy or get will
By the way,
definitely
be
help.
careful because Dan and Daygo's trying to double up. He wants more sweatshirts and more hoodies, so better be careful. Don't select his email. He'll try it. He's a sneaky guy.
And maybe he could talk to me. I'll give him another one if he wants. You know, it's okay. he's a team player, but yes, check it out. And again, like, this goes a long ways because I know we're not trying to sucker you for money. It goes a long way to building the brand. Here we got so many channels and networks that we want to keep going and going. And if we're going for year 3, like, we're in a great spot, and that's why we want to give the first look to the supporters who've been there for the last 2 years. And there's some people who, like, when I see an order come in, I know that name, and I appreciate you guys. I want to say Ernesto from Oregon, Portland. Hopefully your order came in. And keep warm out there in Portland. I saw your name come up, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, or Portland. I mean, Oregon, Washington. Like those are the gloomy play like that. Like it's gonna be cold. So definitely, thank you guys so much. Have you got anywhere like interesting that they've ordered something from or no?
It's been all California, like, pretty much all over California, like north and southern. But when I saw Portland, I was like, all right, I remember. Hopefully, I'm not butchering.
I'm waiting for like Mexico City or like something. I don't know, just something crazy like that.
But we do currently ship in Canada and Mexico. We're still trying to work on the rest of the world. But yeah, thanks for mentioning Mexico and Canada. And orale to buy. Yeah, we need to do like a collection line of the Mexico line and the Canada line.
Exactly. Put an accent on top of it, like the NFL did. Remember the Anye?
And maybe we'll bring on Victor in a bit to cry about Mexico, by the way.
By the way, Gilbert, what more do the Lions need to do to be a contender?
Yeah, I think make the playoffs. This is where we are in the opening drive, right? We're going with Dan Campbell, Jared Goff on the center. They lost Jamal Williams. That's gonna hurt because he was a heart and soul. Like, I think leadership counts for something. And I know you got David Montgomery, but Jamal Williams played well. He got a bunch of touchdowns. That's the only knock I have on the Lions, but they had a lot of question marks defensively, and to get that secondary, CJ Gardner-Johnson, who signed, that's kind of a rocky situation.
That dude's crazy.
Yeah, he lost money, but that became Detroit Lions gain. And I know there's some history there with Dan Campbell in New Orleans, so that's a nice fit. I think Cameron Sutton has potential to be a number 1 cornerback. He's not like one of the elite of the game, but he's versatile, could play in the slot, outside. And then you shot him out last week. Is Mosley right? Is it Mosley from the 49ers? He's pretty good. Graham Glasnow, I think that's the one that Victor mentioned. So a lot of talent, especially in that back end of the secondary for the Lions. So I think now they're in position to maybe even win the division, the NFC North. I don't know if they're Super Bowl contenders, but they're definitely a NFC North contender.
It's crazy, Gilbert. I feel like every day MCDC is bringing in all the players, the whole roster. They're sitting there like in March Madness, waiting to see when their guys are going to get this guy. What seed you're going to be. They're waiting for Aaron Rodgers trade so that as soon as it happens, he's going to get up. Listen, man, this is our division. We're going to take it, man. We're going to decapitate kneecaps, man. We're going to get these guys, man. I feel like that's exactly what he's going to do as soon as Aaron Rodgers leaves the division. Gilbert, remember, we didn't see that much of Jameson Williams from Alabama. He was one of their first-round draft picks. You and I both kind of thought the Chargers might swing for the fences and go get him in the first round. The Lions jumped back in the first round, and they grabbed him. He's going to be a huge part of this offense. That's why they've let DJ Chark leave. That's why they have some other weapons. They also own the 6th overall pick, the 18th, the 48th, and the 55th, Gilbert. That's a lot of draft picks in the first 2 rounds.
They need to add an edge rusher and maybe get a tight end because they lost to the TJ Hawkinson to the Vikings. So maybe those are the draft picks you get those 2 positions there. Now we're really talking about NFC contender.
But see, my thing is, what, like, 6th, you're going to be tempted. You're really going to be tempted to try and take a quarterback. But you could say, you know what? Let's just trust Jared Goff. Let's trust that he could do this. Let's get a pass rusher in the 6th pick. Because then you can remember the draft might not even start until the 5th pick. All the quarterbacks might be gone by the 5th pick, and then you can basically have your pick. Imagine Will Anderson on one side, and on the other side you have the Joey Bosa lookalike, or the guy from Michigan.
You mean, is it Iowa? right?
No. The guy from Michigan. No, the one that they drafted last
Oh,
year.
Aiden Hutchinson. But
Aiden Hutchinson.
yeah. Sorry,
Can you
there's another
imagine
Iowa
Anderson and
Right.
Hutchinson on
It's like
each side?
Gilberto.
Well, my bad. Well, everybody kept on comparing him to Joey and Nick Bosa.
That's true.
Can you imagine that? And then the 18th pick, you go get Kincaid from Utah, or you go get Michael Mayer. Man, that team just really
Pretty good.
changed. Yeah, so I mean that's the thing, and I know they're gonna want that quarterback. I know it. I know they're
Can
gonna.
I give you a scenario, Fernando?
I want one.
Okay, let's just say maybe Will Anderson is gone because he's the first non-quarterback prospect that's high on the board. Jalen Carter is gonna fall. We'll get into it. But the guy from Texas Tech and Iowa are the next prospects. I don't want to butcher their names. I think Tyree Wilson's at Texas Tech. I don't want to butcher the Iowa, but they're defensive linemen, and you need that for the Lions. But if Anthony Richardson just sitting there for the taken for the future, because Bryce Young, CJ Stroud taken already, would you do it? Take Anthony Richardson? We were talking about this.
Do you trust your quarterbacks coach and your offensive coordinator to mold a kid like that while sitting on the bench, while Jared Goff leads this team? That's going to be really what the Lions are going to have to say to themselves. 1, 2, will they be tempted to bring him in as a gadget player and maybe use his athleticism in key situations, maybe like other teams have? Like, I give Andy Reid credit. That year that Patrick Mahomes sat, he could have brought him. Now, knowing what we know about Patrick Mahomes, he could have brought him in as a gadget player and had him do some plays, and maybe he would have thrown everybody off. But that's going to be the question that he and his staff need to ask them, or him and the general manager need to ask themselves. Do we trust these guys to mold that quarterback in the next year? Or should we just go looking at the way the NFC is as a whole? The Eagles are hurting. The Tampa Bay has lost Tom Brady. You see Aaron Rodgers just left the Green Bay Packers.
Not official.
Well, not official.
but we all know it.
Yeah. But not official. But do you go all in and say, okay, it's time. Let's go. Let's kick everybody.
Yeah. That is true.
Their teeth in, and let's go get this. That's really what the Lions are gonna have to ask themselves.
A team starving for a playoff win or just an appearance, they might just, forget it. Jared Goff lead us that way, and then we'll build the rest of the roster. You might be right there.
The Bears and the Lions are gonna be way better next year. I can't wait to watch both of them next year. And if the Bears do everything right going into the new stadium, they may have everything that they need: a star receiver, their star quarterback, everything, the offensive line built better. But yep, that's exactly what they're gonna have to do. But Gilbert, you mentioned it, 900 subscribers on YouTube, and you get one of those nice sweatshirts. It's una ganga, like they say in Mexico. That's what more could you ask for?
Sounds like a gang, but yeah, that too. So we help us get to 900 subscribers, and we're almost there. And then you'll definitely get one of these nice hoodies, and maybe Anthony Richardson wears one too for the Lions.
Hey, you never know. Gilbert, it is time now for Compas on the NFL. What was your biggest takeaway from week 1 in NFL free agency?
Yeah, I'm not sure about biggest takeaways because I know we have another segment, a little preview, winners and losers, and that's kind of my biggest takeaway. But I'm noticing what the Cowboys are doing, and then even the Texans are kind of like swapping players. So I'll keep it in the Lone Star State of Texas, and
keep it in the family.
Yeah. It's not Alabama, but close enough. But I want to give the Cowboys credit, but then I remember what they lost. Like, okay, so they remember they lost Amari Cooper, and that was a big that hurt them early on because they couldn't find a number 2 to CeeDee Lamb.
And he still played good over in Cleveland.
With the Browns. And the one thing about that, CeeDee Lamb really emerged as a number 1 target, and that worked out. But they were hurting. Like Michael,
I thought he was going to be doubled the whole season.
Yeah, and he was great. He was amazing. He was amazing watching that in the playoffs because of 49ers. But now you get a good number 2 for him. Brandon Cooks, the trade with the Texans there. But then the Texans just got the tight end, Dalton Schultz. So they lose another key playmaker with the Cowboys. So and then the Texans also took away Noah Brown, who Victor has shouted out as another emerging wide receiver. He's going to Houston to help out maybe Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. I don't know who it is. So I want to say that the Cowboys got better, but then they released Zeke, which was warranted because of salary cap, and then they traded for Stephon Gilmore. So like they're making moves. The Cowboys are going back and forth, and to get Stephon Gilmore, who's an older player, it only took what, a 5th-round draft pick. It's pretty good to go with Teron Diggs, but it's a lot of like additions, subtractions, and it still feels like a team that would lose in the 2nd round, and we're all gonna bash Dak Prescott a year from now. So it's weird to kind of what to make of it. But I know we don't really talk Texans. We love to talk Lions here, but Texans have a little nice core going. I think the Nico Ryans is set up to at least improve the roster. And then when whichever young quarterback gets there, you get Dalton Schultz as a target. And I think they added who was the Devin Singletary from the Bills.
Yeah, that was a good
number
pickup.
2, the Damian Pierce. So
but then you lost Brandon Cooks also.
Yeah, you lost that. But if you look at the receiving core, and
Yeah.
I'm going to butcher the names, but it's very young guys like John Mechie, who was hurt last year. You get a Robert Woods too, a younger guy.
John Mechie, he was the one that had the enlarged heart, no, cancer.
I forget what it was, but yes, he was sidelined because of health concerns.
And he's supposed to be coming back?
Supposed to be coming back. And then
God bless.
I remember Nico Collins from a game against the Texans,
the
Chargers, where he burned the Chargers.
Yeah, he did.
He's also on the roster. And then there was something else. Oh, yeah, they locked down their left tackle, Lermy Tunsil. So I think the rookie, whichever one it is, comes in, will be in decent shape.
No, they will. And they have some playmakers there. Gilbert, mine is the running back and the linebacker market. Now, there was one outlier for the linebacker, and that was from Tremaine Edmonds. He got 4 years, $72 million. Other than that, Gilbert, Alex Anzalone, 6.25. Eric Kendrick, 6.6. Levante David, 7. Nothing really to write home about. And you still get, Gilbert, you still have free agents like Bobby Wagner, Miles Jack, Denzel Perryman, Corey Littleton, Kyle Van Noy. We all saw the season that Kyle Van Noy had last year. He had 6 sacks. He had a bunch of tackles, and he's still a free agent. Then you look at the running backs, Gilbert. The one, I guess, outlier in a sense is Miles Sanders. He got a 4-year, $25 million contract from the Panthers. But David Montgomery, 6. Jamal Williams, 4. James Robinson, 4. This is what they're making per year. Samaj P. Ryan, 3.75. Gilbert, it's not what these players thought it was going to be. And with Austin Eckler out there, asking for a trade, you look around, Gilbert, and he's like, well, Derrick Henry, well, Dalvin Cook. Those guys are all like, they're going to tell him to either take a pay cut or you're out of here. That's what's happening to the running back value. It's going down, and I just don't know if Austin's going to get what he's looking for. But that's just in general. I think that I've been very surprised by both the market of the linebacker and the running back. It feels like they're both heading the same route, which is we can plug and play any guy in there. Look at it. They bring safeties to play linebacker. Tony Jefferson, who I went to high school with, he's looking to gain about 15 to 20 pounds. Why? Because he wants to play linebacker full time. So, I mean, that's what's happening right there. Like, guys just want to go and it feels like linebacker is kind of that interchangeable. You can use different guys with it. And that's the way guys are treating and that's the way the NFL is treating that and the running back position.
Yeah, just, I'll make it quick. But the linebacker stuff, a little surprised because there was a lot of good, talented players. But maybe I shouldn't be surprised because it is becoming a devalued position. The running back position, I wasn't surprised because we've seen how they get treated over year after year. But I wish that Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Antonio Pollard were never franchise tag to really test his market and see what their values, because those are the best of the best of the position. Like, is 10 million about right for a running back that's top tier? It's starting to feel like it might be a little too high. Like, it might be like $8 million range. Like, guys like Miles Sanders, all the quality good ones took $5 million or less.
Yep.
And that's why I'm saying, like, Austin Eckler, like, if you're trying to get more than $6 million, which you're getting for 2023, it might be tough unless you're asking for like maybe the same, you just want more year security. And Fernando, like, I really would like, just kind of the last thing I'll say on this, because we got to move on. People kind of gave me some crap because of my story for Austin Eckler trade destinations at SI. One of them was the Cowboys. And, if you're the Cowboys, I think you wised up now. Like, okay, you're not going to give a running back a long-term commitment because they got burned by Zeke. Zeke was a good player, but he was not worthy of $70 million guaranteed. Yeah. And I think they learned the lesson. They released him and they franchise tag Tony Pollard. They're not going to mess around. But if they don't want to pay Tony Pollard, then send them to the Chargers, who are all in, a little more aggressive. Kellen Moore gets Tony Pollard. Chargers pay him long term. They spread it out over the cap, and then you get a guy on a 1-year contract at Austin Eckler. Boom, boom, boom. But I'm crazy. Anyways, but go ahead, Fernando.
This is the crazy part to me, though. I want to know what Zeke is going to make. Gilbert, Zeke is only 27 years old. There's no way his body should be falling apart the way it is. It is because the running backs aren't like they used to be. Heck, Zeke still had 12 touchdowns last year. That's why I was wondering, like, why? Like, if you're the Chargers, and I know some fans are going to get pissed because I bring this up, why not? Why not bring him in as a battering ram on 3rd down, 4th down? You don't have to use him as much. You bring him in on a veteran deal. But in the end zone, he could still get you 12 to 13 times. Again, Austin takes a lot of punishment in the red zone when he gets hit. He takes some hits that he shouldn't be taking.
Well, the issue, Fernando, is who will be the number 1, because if you trade Eckler, what do you got?
No, I meant like if I'm saying if they keep Eckler,
that'd be a good one too. Yeah,
guys, jump over to what later, or I don't know, maybe Tuesday afternoon on What's Up Bolts. I'll be telling Gilbert, who's going to join us, and Dan and Daygo, what I think is going to end up happening with Austin Eckler. But I really do think that if Austin Eckler does stay, then they should go get a Zeke, make him their like battering ram late in games. But then also you could use a guy like Spiller in there. Well, that's just my bad. I'm jumping on to what should be What's Up Bolts. But I'm just surprised at the running back and linebacker market, to be completely honest. But Gilbert, what is the way to go for NFL free agents? Sign short-term 2 to 3 year deals to drive up the AAV or for each position, or push for long-term contracts with fully guaranteed money?
It's tough to say because everybody has different situations. All positions are different. Scheme fits, teams, GMs, whatever it is, who's available in the draft. So I like to go to the Orlando Brown Jr. situation here. And I know for the player point of view, it wasn't what he probably expected. Like maybe, like Jawan Taylor got more. And then if you look at the average annual per year or what he's making, it's like $60 million, and that's well below. But Orlando Brown Jr. got a lot of money up front. He got a lot of guaranteed. So you kind of divide it by 2 years. He's up there with Trent Williams. So depends on how you look at it. So I guess I'll go lean more to like that contract, because he's only 26 years old. He's going to be 28 and be a free agent in 2 years. Laremy Tunsil's 28 and got paid again. So he'll be a free agent again. If he keeps playing well, he's going to bank in and get more money. So it's kind of like the Kirk Cousins 1 year, 2 year plan, guaranteed money coming in.
Holy crap.
And he's getting paid it. And so I think people knock out Orlando Brown, and he stuck to his guns of being left tackle. And the Bengals, who needed to win now, win and gave him some good money up top. So I think situations like that, you just gotta really structure it properly. Incentives always help too, stuff like that. So it's complicated in the NFL world, but I like what Orlando Brown Jr. did. Went to a contender, gets a lot of money in 2 years, and then you try it again and see what happens. That's why I'm thinking maybe Lamar Jackson will eventually go that route, like 2 or 3 years, but they are still in a stalemate.
I'm with you. It depends on the player and the situation. Like if you're a running back, get your money now, get a long-term deal, get your thing now, because there might not be a or a third contract for you. But like you said, Orlando Brown, I thought was smart with it. I think he understands exactly what route to take. And I'm with you. I really do believe that that's the best way to do it, especially if you're a player like him. I mean, look at Laremy Tunsil. Like you said, like he was with the Miami Dolphins. Then he gets traded to Houston, and then obviously he's been there with Houston. He just got another payday. So how old is he? Laremy Tunsil? He's like 28, 29.
Yeah, I looked it up recently.
Man, I think he signed a 3-year deal. He could still maybe even get paid one more time.
Probably, yeah.
If he does exactly what I think he's gonna do, he could probably in 2 years ask for another contract, because it's a 3-year. Maybe after 2, if he's still playing at an all-pro level.
I'm sure
it probably Tyron Smith did that a lot for the Cowboys. Well, Tyron Smith signed a 7-year deal, though. But that's the difference. Tyron Smith is an injury-plagued left tackle who only plays about 9 to 10 games a year. But he signed that 7-year deal or 6-year deal, and he's had that contract there for him, and it doesn't matter if he plays or if he doesn't.
But those are like the old school contracts. Now they're all I think
they're out. I'm with you. They're starting to change.
1 year out. So
yep. I agree with you. Gilbert, as we enter week 2 of the stare down between the Jets and the Packers over the trade compensation for Aaron Rodgers, how long do you think we'll have to wait until this was resolved? Also, which team do you think has the leverage?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite questions here on the rundown. Shout out to Vic, the producer. And I'm going to say no team has leverage. I think both teams just want to get it over with, and they're going to have a pissing contest for maybe another week, and they'll, get it done. sometime in April. And the whole thing about the leverage, I say no team has leverage because they all know what the end result has to be. Because you're the Packers, like, you got to move on to Jordan Love. If you're the Jets, you have no other option. Like, maybe the draft, but other than that, you set up your roster for that guy, but you'll counter there. And then for the compensation for the trade, I think the stalemate is because of the first round pick. Nobody wants to lose that battle there. So I think you got to do one of these tricky ones. Like, okay, Jets say, hey, Green Bay, you get a second round pick. That's pretty good. But say Aaron Rodgers wins an MVP or the Jets get to the AFC title game, it becomes a first round pick, and it's like a back end one. It's like a 28, 29, 30, and then call it a day. I think that's going to end up being the case there.
If I'm the Jets, I put sunglasses on and I tell the Packers, there's another team out there that we could help, that we could take their quarterback, that we could trade for their quarterback. It's not who you think I'm thinking of. The LA Rams have been talking about, there's been talks about them trying to offload Matthew Stafford. If you don't trade me Aaron Rodgers now, I'm going to go to the Rams and I'm going to go get Matthew Stafford.
I like it.
You'll have a headache with Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. Where are you going to go? Nobody else is going to trade for Aaron Rodgers. Everybody else is done. They have no money. They have nothing to trade. I'll go get Matthew Stafford, pluck him over here, and I'll send the Manhattan MILF Hunter down to LA. He can be the Manhattan Beach MILF Hunter down there. And
wow.
And
did you write this one down before?
No, I don't. It all comes up here. But I go get Matthew Stafford, who's won a Super Bowl. He won it recently. There's weapons out there. You have a better offensive line. He could go out there and maybe win me a Super Bowl. So you better hurry up, because if not, I can go. There's other options for me. It doesn't necessarily have to be you.
I know it's a little far-fetched scenario, but now that I'm playing this game, I feel like Sean McVay will take it on. I was like, okay, Zach Wilson, I'm gonna turn you around. I'm gonna add another feather to my cap because I'm this wizard offensively. So I can see it.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, like, there's other choices out there, and if the Jets are smart, I would start playing chicken with these guys, because first round draft pick, get out of here. They even pulled, I think, all the general managers or executives, and everybody said Aaron Rodgers isn't, like, he's 39 years old. Like, not like if the like, let's just say back then, if the Chargers would have had to have traded Phillip Rivers, they ain't gonna get a first round. You're not gonna get a first round draft pick for a 37-year-old. Like, that just doesn't happen. Even for Brett Favre, they got like a fourth rounder when they traded him to the Jets. So yeah, get out of here. So I'm definitely not into.
By the way, real quick, how far has Zach Wilson fallen from a year ago? Like, number 2 pick to not being. Nobody cares about what happens to you if Rodgers just comes. Like, will he get traded, released, or he's gonna be the backup to Rodgers? Like, nobody cares.
Yeah. You know what the crazy part is? Everybody wants to see Garrett Wilson with a good quarterback, because I want to see what's his name with a good quarterback too, Chris Olave. I want to see both of those guys with good to great quarterbacks, because I want to see what those guys can really do. Because you see Terran McLaurin over with Washington, that dude gets 1,000 yards no matter if I or Vic or Dan and Dago's the quarterback. He gets 1,000 yards. Now let's see, when you put him with good quarterbacks, what these guys can do. So that's what I'm excited for. I want to see Aaron be in New York, because I want to see him, Garrett Wilson, and some of the weapons that those guys have. But obviously, we'll see what happens. But Gilbert, time to go to Dan and Daygo and see what he's got cooking for us now. Let's go to him.
What did I tell you? Your boy Dan and Daygo doesn't lie. Like I'm telling you, check out the link in the description. Go check out these shirts. Snag a hoodie for sure. It's been raining. It's been cold down here in supposedly sunny Southern California, but we have been getting rain. It's been getting cold. Let me tell you something. That Compas hoodie has not come off my back until right now indoors, because that keeps me warm. It is an absolute pleasure to have. It's warmer than the warmest embrace of a person you love. And you already know your Compas love you, and you love your Compas. Also, do not forget to check out our social media. We are everywhere. We got the TikToks at Compas on the Beat. What? On Instagrams at Compas on the Beat. What? On the Twitter at Compas OTB. The OTB is capital. And do not forget, we do it all here. We got a few different shows on the Compas on the Beat network. Be sure to check out Little House of Horns. What? Show about the Rams. We got What's Up Bolts. Show about the Los Angeles Chargers. What? We got Combat Compas. Show about combat sports. Which, by the way, your boys are going to WrestleMania. Quick shout out to them. All their hard work is paying off. What? We got regular Compas where we do it all. We talk about it all in the NFL and everything else. What? And also, if you love everything about the champions, we got Compas FC with the lads over there. You know they get rowdy and fired up, and it's absolutely amazing. I never miss an episode. I absolutely love those guys. Absolutely hilarious. Do not forget to check out everything I just mentioned. Show, social media. We do it all here. Your boys are growing, so help us grow. Be a compa, tell a compa. Let's get back to the show.
Gilbert, it's time for rapid fire. Dragon Ball Z. Boom. Gilbert, it's time to play something or nothing. OBJ is still a free agent, even after having worked out for teams and being 13 months removed from ACL surgery. Is it something or nothing?
Oh, it's definitely something. Whenever like a free agent veteran has to do like a workout in front of people, that means like, all right, man, what do you want to drag us out here for? Send over the intern scout to go check it out and just put the camera on and they'll watch the tape. Like, I'm tired of OBJ. I get it. Like he's a good promoter, marketer. He knows how to get the attention. Whenever like people forget about OBJ, he does like a random wild tweet. So now it's a workout, and the same thing with Cam Newton. So it's a bad look, man. Like people are not running to go sign that guy right now. So we'll see what happens.
He's talking about money. He's saying, I didn't say I wanted 20 million. He's talking about different things. The Cowboys went to go trade for Brandon Cooks. The Bills signed some receivers. It seems like the teams that are that were chasing him have signed other guys, and it's kind of like, ¿dónde está? Where's his head at? That's because he keeps on talking about, oh, it's not easy to come back from this ACL injury. Sir, Adrian Peterson did it in less than 7 months. Like it talks about your mentality. Where are you at mentally, OBJ? And I feel like that's why teams are starting to sign guys and they're trying to bring in guys because they don't know where OBJ really is mentally, in my opinion. Gilbert, something or nothing. 4 teams: Ravens, Cowboys, Rams, and Jaguars didn't sign an outside free agent in week 1 of free agency.
Maybe something for some of these teams. You know, you got to look at it differently for everybody. Like the Rams, we all know they're trying to, create cap space for next year and then even this year. But you know what? I'll focus on the Ravens, man. The Ravens have created a mess. Like they kind of like have their roster on lockdown because they don't know what they're gonna do with Lamar Jackson, a guy you have your entire offense built around him. I know you got a new OC, but imagine the guy. I don't know what butcher's name. The guy from Georgia, the OC there who went over to the Ravens. He's like, okay, am I gonna build this scheme around Lamar Jackson or what? What's going on here? Like this whole roster is on a lockdown, and it's really bad that they can't figure it out. Both sides. I'm tired of the he said, figure it out.
By the way, I forgot to give you this when I talk about the Packers. Gutekunst. But
Didn't make me laugh.
I think it is something. I agree with you with the Ravens. You know who surprises me, but not really, is the Jaguars. They kind of taken care of their own, which is good. And then remember, they traded for Calvin Ridley last year. Calvin Ridley is going to be in that offense. They've gotten better. They're just very quiet about it. They've re-signed their own. They know that some of these re-signings are coming up. So I for some teams, I think it is something. For Jacksonville, it's nothing. But for the Ravens, man, they're literally just holding their breath, waiting to see what's going to happen next. Gilbert, something or nothing. Raiders pushing the Jimmy Garoppolo press conference from Thursday to Friday.
I don't know. I think I'll say nothing because he already signed his contract and had his press conference and looked all GQ in front of the cameras, and all those nice people that I recognize in Vegas got to finally do it. I feel bad for him because I think they had him miss 2 days of the NCAA tournament because he didn't show up one day, and then the next day he had to do that and work. So Jimmy G making people wait for that long. I'm sure
they got fed.
I'm sure Victor the producer got a scare out of that. Maybe he failed his physical, but nothing after he signed.
Maybe hey, I saw that some some restaurant, some strip club, they were like, welcome Jimmy G to Vegas. Hey, why? My guy probably went exploring. He got lost.
It's easy to get lost there.
Yeah, he got lost in the South. So I don't think
the Wynn Buffet, one of my favorite buffets in Vegas. Probably went there for a couple hours.
Yeah, there's other buffets too that I'm sure he went to, but yeah, I don't think it's anything, to be honest. He signed, sealed, deliver. He's yours, Vic. Let's go. Gilbert, what was the best bargain or value signing in free agency?
Yeah, you know what? I've been saying that David Long Jr. won a lot, but I'm gonna stay away from that because it's David Long Jr., not a big name. So I'll go with the Eagles. James Bradbury, 3-year deal, $38 million, and that's a pretty good bargain for one of the top cornerbacks in the game. Like, remember last year with J.C. Jackson and the Chargers? It was like 5 years, like almost 70 something million. So even before that, so even like guy like Carlton Davis from the Buccaneers got like 3 years, 40 something. Jamel Dean also this year. So Bradbury was a second team All Pro, and to get 3 years, $38 million, which I don't know if my math is correct, but like what, $12-13 million a year annually. So bargain for the Eagles. The only thing they maybe overpaid for Darius Slay to stay.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I get it. Yeah, I feel you. Gilbert, I'm going to go Baker Mayfield. Why? Baker Mayfield is going into a situation where the Buccaneers had a lot of offensive linemen hurt last year. They're going to come back. They just need some help on the running back, but they got weapons. They got Mike Evans. They have Chris Godwin. They have some pieces there, and they have an okay defense. I think I think those guys could sneak up on some teams, and I don't think they're going to be bad. And then remember, he was with Sean McVay, and he learned from Sean McVay. And like Dan and Daygo said, if Baker Mayfield's smart, the first day he went in there, he bypassed everybody and went straight to Bruce Arians' office and said, "Show, Daddy, I'm dumb. Show me how to play." So I'm
does he walk by Todd Bowles' office?
Oh, yeah. Hey, sir, how you doing? Yep. Cool. Yeah. Daddy, I'm dumb. Show me how to play. So yeah, I'm definitely
Fernando. When do you guys meet for the I Love Baker Mayfield Club? Because you've been vouching for him lately.
I like that he went with Sean McVay I think he learned a lot, and I think even up until now, I think Sean will still help him in a sense. I just really like that. I feel like Sean could really help him turn it around. I mean, Matthew Stafford was good. He kind of went to great that season that he was with Sean McVay, and it's because of the way Sean McVay set everything up for him. Now, it's not going to be all sunshines and rainbows with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but hopefully he learned from those last few games with the Rams. It's all sunshines and rainbows, but I really do think that if he settles down and if he lets the outside noise kind of escape him and he just focuses on his game, he should be okay, especially with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin out there catching balls for him.
Hey, Todd. See you, Todd.
Yeah, exactly. Daddy, I'm dumb. Show me how to play quarterback. Yeah, so I'm just saying. Gilbert, who was the biggest winner and who was the biggest loser of week 1 in free agency?
Yeah, I can stick to one, so I'll give you two, and maybe some sneaky ones here. But okay, cool. I got the Broncos and the Falcons. I'll keep it quick. Broncos. I think Sean Payton's saying, "All right, dude, Russell Wilson, I'm giving you one opportunity to rebound here because if you don't do it with this upgrade here, you're out of here, man." So I got two linemen, Mike McGlinchey, Ben Powers. I want to say, Zach Allen from Arizona on defense, and a couple of people I'm forgetting about here on. Well, even Jarrett Stidham could maybe take over his job. We'll see. For the Broncos and then the Falcons, they knew what they do well. They run the football pretty hard, and they're one of the best at doing that. They kept Caleb McGarry. They kept their, I want to say Lindstrom, their guard. They added some defensive pieces, Jesse Bates. They're missing a franchise quarterback, but they haven't panicked about that, and I kind of like that they're not panicking.
I'm with you as well, especially because their head coach he's a good offensive mind. He knows exactly what he's doing. Gilbert, I'm gonna go winner, Carolina. And by the way, you missed a good one. It would have been Broncos country. Let's ride that ass out of here. Get out of here, Russ. You're done.
Hey, so, you're on one. That one and the Manhattan Beach one. We gotta clip these out, Victor. And real quick, I took your time. A loser that I had was actually the same as you, so you could take it away on the Ravens. Go ahead.
Okay, there you go. I'm gonna go Carolina. I think Carolina, what they've on paper, I love exactly what Carolina's done with their coaching staff and with their free agents. The only thing is, every time you see it on paper, it doesn't translate. But I feel like they may be able to put it together and it may translate. But they need a quarterback. Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, cannot be the quarterback this season, or that gun's going to get jammed. So I definitely, we need to see another quarterback take the field. But as of right now, I have Carolina as a winner. Two losers, the Packers. Why the Packers? Dude, you're not moving on from the Aaron Rodgers drama yet. You haven't signed any free agents. You haven't really done much to move forward with and help Jordan Love. So I'd panic if I was them. And the Ravens and the Packers are both handcuffed for two different reasons. One, they don't want to re-sign. Lamar Jackson. Well, they want to, but to a certain number. And these guys don't want to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. So they're both losers, in my opinion. And they need to keep it moving forward, because if not, it's not going to look.
And then two L's, Fernando. I like it.
Yep, exactly. So, Gilbert, Oh, my bad. Former Georgia defensive lineman Jalen Carter pleaded no contest to misdemeanor driving offenses last Thursday. He will receive 12 months probation, $1,000 fine, and 80 hours of community service as part of his plea deal. Now, we know Carter won't face any jail time, and we know he's had character issues before this arrest warrant and everything. How do you think this will affect his draft stock? Do you think how far do you think he falls?
I don't know, man. I'm not sure this thing is done yet. I'm sure people are
Yeah.
doing their research, and then he shows up out of shape. Like that's in his head too. When you show up 9 pounds overweight from what you had the combine in 9 days.
Who is he? El
So
Zurdo Ramirez?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, shout out to Tocayo there who did not make weight. But yeah, I think he's gonna start falling out. Maybe out of for sure a top 10, he's probably gonna be falling. If you're like the 15 range and you're probably thinking like, oh man, we didn't think we had a chance with this guy, and you're doing your research, so you better do your research well. I'm sure he'll be he'll be in the first round, but he now is going from like 10 to 20 range, and we'll see what happens with him.
I think his pro day, all binoculars are going to be on him. Did he lose the weight? Is he ready to go? Does he look like all the eyes are going to be on him for that when he does his pro day.
You already did it, Fernando.
They already did it?
Yeah, 9 pounds overweight.
Oh, okay, then there you go. So yeah, that's gonna.
I got you. I saw that as a feature.
My bad. It's because free agency had me all whacked up. But okay, then I think it is gonna hurt him, and I think he falls to that mid-range level, unless he does a private workout or he tries to do something and to show scouts something else. But unless he can convince teams when they have their meetings with him,
yeah,
it's gonna be very hard, man.
It's starting now, like the in-person meetings or teams.
You're really gonna have to show him something else. You know what? This is another perfect thing for Kevin Costner for the next movie that he does for draft.
You gotta write the part 2, man. You gotta do it.
I know. Give the people what they want. Gilbert, obviously, it is time now to bring in 2 people who complete what we do here at Compas on the Beat. Vic, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I as well got my little red cheeks as well. Got some sun in me on Saturday.
I see you guys lighter, but I guess I'm the one. Maybe the lights that you
My
got.
shoulders are burned.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
when we were kids, we were in Puerto Vallarta once, and I even got boils on my back. That's how burned I got. So
now that I think about it, Victor, I think you're the only one that didn't do a cannonball into the pool.
I did. I did.
You did? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Was it a drunk
I was the
cannonball?
last one. I was the last one that went in.
Okay, I was like, did I miss it, Victor? Okay, good job. It was cold water, by the way. Really
Yeah,
cold.
it was really cold.
It's time. And you know what? This is perfect. Is it time to crap on the Packers and Matt LaFleur? You know your boys game.
It's been a minute. It has been a
You know
minute.
your
There you
boys
go.
game. Dude,
Oh,
by the
dude.
way,
if they trade Aaron Rodgers and it's Matt LaFleur's show, Dan and Daygo is going to be glued to that. I think he's going to get the NFL package and watch every single Packers game and take notes on every single one.
What a crappy play that was.
I would be willing to bet over under who finishes better, the Rams or the Packers. I think it's gonna be bad.
You know what I would love
Dang.
next year at the combine if Dan and Daygo, like we see LaFleur at the steakhouse, and Dan and Daygo goes, Matt, I need to talk to you over here. Pulls out this big old notebook and says, Week 1, you messed up when you did X, Y, and just
Exactly. I documented it.
Or
Be like,
keep
hey,
it sweet and
Matt-
simple and be like, I knew you were a fraud. And that's it.
Exactly.
There you go.
I'm like-
Gilberto coming out.
Exactly. I'm like, you're no better than Coach Clapper over there. You'll be there for 10 years too, on the sideline just clapping at nothing. But I was gonna say, you guys looking at my notes over here, bringing up all the points I had for the damn show.
All right, Vic.
Ain't gonna make it better.
What was your biggest takeaway?
I
from
was
week
just
1?
gonna say that, Dan. Thank you for, because I was gonna talk about the Panthers, but while I was listening to you guys talk about it, I kind of changed my mind. I think running backs are really hurting here. That was my biggest takeaway, and I think my biggest takeaway is going to be that I think we're going to see a couple of running backs go in the first round of the draft because of it. Because look, we know that teams want to be able to franchise these running backs, and so by if you take one late in the first round, like who needs running backs right now? Take a look at it. Like someone like the Cincinnati Bengals, like the Bills, like late in the round where you can kind of take a chance on a running back and you get them for 5 years. If kind of like what the Raiders did with Josh Jacobs, where you can franchise them and you get them for 5 years, you can franchise them because they're so low in value in terms of their franchise tag. Then you're able to get those running backs for 5 years and then move on, and then you can draft another one. So I just think now it's going to be you're going to start to see a couple of more running backs being drafted in the first round. I didn't think so before this happened, but seeing what the contracts are going for, I think we might see that.
Vic, I want to hear also your points on the Panthers. Actually, Adam Thielen, Miles Sanders, Hayden Hurst. You like it?
Yeah, I really do. Like they kind of remind me of kind of like what the Bengals did. I know they don't have their franchise quarterback there, but they're kind of going like they're going for like those franchise the French free agent signings. You pick up a veteran guy in Adam Thielen to kind of because you lose DJ Moore, and then you fill out your roster with quality players, and that's what you do when you're trying to rebuild. And then that coaching staff, as Fernando talked about, I mean, they got like Don Capers, like they got a bunch of really good coaches on that staff. So, I mean, I really like how they're building, and of course, it helps to have an owner who's really committed to giving you what you need.
They better be ready with a quarterback, though.
Yes.
That's gonna be their missing piece. I'm telling you, that gun's gonna jam.
$1 million
Sam, what was your biggest takeaway from week one of free agency?
This was my biggest takeaway. I think some of these guys are buying into the hype of getting the bag and other things like that. And I think that's why you're seeing these guys outprice themselves on their team. Person after person almost this year, you saw Orlando Brown was offered more by the Chiefs and thought he'd get more in the open market. Obviously didn't. Dalton Schultz, same thing. Obviously didn't get more than he thought. And I don't know. Personally, I don't know. I would love
the Gardner got
Gardner
the Eagles.
Yeah, Gardner Johnson. Yeah, also got less than what he thought 1 year. And most of them are like, well, except Orlando Brown, most of them are kind of like 1 year deals, prove it. And it's like you see also with some of these running backs, also same thing, Jamal Williams and some of these other guys. But my thing is this, I would love them to do a case study or something. And this is just, been watching documentaries lately of like, is it people in their inner circles just giving them bad advice? Because like, I don't know how, they haven't seen the writing on the wall yet that the only position that's guaranteed high value money, and they can thank the Browns for being idiotic stooges, is the quarterback position. Other than that, you have to assume you're expendable. I mean, that's just a sad reality. Every other position on a franchise is expendable. So don't think you're going to set the market and this and that, especially some of these franchises who don't have a quarterback. And, I think that's what we saw this offseason, that people or players overvalued themselves.
Did you not hear Sandra Bullock? The left tackle is important. Thanks to Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, from how long ago was that movie, and how long did Lawrence Taylor play?
That left tackle position is very important.
Frown, it's true. I know it's true.
No, I know.
Look what they did to Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck, I saw one of his videos up on Twitter the other day, and it was an amazing play. Obviously, the dude was getting mugged, harassed, and everything else. It looked like he stole something. He was getting beat so bad. But it's like he's probably one of the best quarterbacks who never was, because he never got a chance to, because they didn't protect him. The body didn't hold up and everything else because they were spending money in other places. And, it's going to be interesting to see moving forward what the NFL looks like. But I think right now this is what it's looking like, where the only person guaranteed anything in this world, in this NFL world, is the quarterback. Everybody else is expendable. Oh my God. Don't even get me started on him. I'm not, you know what? Maybe next time I'll buy one of those Roger Goodell clown t-shirts and I'll bring it on the show.
I thought about adding the Roger Goodell as a question on the rundown. But I was like, nobody wants it. I mean, $500 million that he's made so far as a commissioner. Ugh.
And what has he done for football? I think it's worse.
Take orders from the owners, and that's all
I'm still so mad that he didn't allow Portnoy to watch that
Jerry Jones
game with him. That would have been so much fun.
Jerry Jones.
And Jerry Jones was the one that wanted him out a couple of years ago. So that's definitely crazy.
Sorry, real quick, Fernando. TJ Gardner Johnson's agent was getting crushed by Eagles fans who, like, I think there was like a reporter out there who, like, like that reminded me that this time of year, fans always side with the team than the player. And when the details came out about Gardner Johnson wanting more, they went after the agent, like, "Oh, you screwed it up, you messed it up," and like,
But it's because CJ was also tweeting stuff out, and they thought it was about the Eagles. I secretly think it was about the Broncos. He started following a lot of Broncos players on social media. The Broncos need another safety, and I think a lot of people thought he was going to go to Denver, and I feel like they lowballed him because they started going after other positions. And he said, "Yeah, right. I'm not going to take that offer and go to Denver." He decided to go somewhere else. So I think he's secretly talking about Denver. I don't think he's talking about Philly. And I think Philly fans took it the wrong way and they went at him. But I secretly think he's talking about Denver.
But you're right.
I was going to say Philly fans are still in mourning, for God's sake. They lose the World Series. They lose the Super Bowl. It's a miracle the city's still standing.
Too.
Oh, okay. Come on, Frown.
Hey, they lost all three of them in 1 year.
That's what I'm saying. They're in mourning. They're still. I wouldn't be surprised if you see no one wear bright colors in Philadelphia for the next few years.
Okay, Gilbert, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I agree with Dan and Daygo. Sometimes look in the mirror or check the freaking roster. You play safety. Oh, get out of here and take your money.
Yeah.
And I was just gonna agree with Dan. I think it goes quarterbacks. And part of the reason I put that question in was like I think quarterbacks are the ones that are wanting to get that fully guaranteed money, long-term contract, and then it's like the offensive linemen and the edge rushers are the ones that are gonna try to get the bigger AAB, like because that way you're able to do 2-year deals and you're getting paid. You're getting that, like Jeremy Tunsil, man, he's gonna get a 4th contract, and that's the way to do it. Know your value, and that way you can continue to exploit the market at that point. And as you guys talked about, it all depends on the position as well.
And that's the thing. It's like everybody is freaking expensive. There we go. That's what I was waiting on.
Were you trying to stall for the music?
You know what? He actually did come out and say that he will never wear the hat and the gloves and the trench coat ever again. It's all either biker or just normal Mark Calloway. So
Frown, there's no more anything. What are you talking about? He's not stepping back in the ring.
No. I meant like when he comes. You know how he comes out sometimes. He'll hype up the crowd and then like he's just gonna be that. He's not gonna do the.
Okay. I thought you meant coming back. I was like, bro, not everybody's Ric Flair. Drugs couldn't kill Ric Flair, and he was out there till he was 70.
Dude, not even a helicopter crash could kill Ric Flair. Remember?
Dude is unbelievable. He's gonna live forever.
Vic, you're gonna go first because I'm very interested to see why you're gonna roast.
It's Bird of the Week though. It's Bird because
did you miss the music guy?
Because
see the banner.
Yeah, there we go.
So I want to know this. What happened?
All right, so I love our stay at the Airbnb that we stayed at in Temecula. Like the place was beautiful. But one of the things that I continue to run into, at least with the Airbnb that we stayed at in Arizona, and the same thing with Temecula, like I understand they expect us to clean up after ourselves, but give us the supplies to be able to do it. Like when we were in Arizona, we ran out of bags, we ran out of things to be able to clean the place because we were going to be there for a whole week. And then in Temecula, same thing happened again. We ran out of bags. We ran out of things to be able. We're there for 3 days. Like just like leave a big ass packet of stuff for us to be able to do our cleaning, or else we can't get our things done. So that's my Berry of the Week. Like if you want us to clean up after ourselves, just give us the tools, man. That's it. That's my Berry of the Week. Like I'm happy to be able to clean up after myself, but like we only had like 5 bags for like 7 rooms, and we're like, and come on, guys. So
pretty big place.
And they charge you $200 for cleaning, so whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, they charge you guys an extra.
Every Airbnb charges for a cleaning fee, and then they want you to clean. Then you'll get charged for not cleaning. That
makes no sense. Yeah, that's kind of redundant. Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
Gilbert.
Mine was definitely a pet peeve. Like, like. I get the NFL wants to hog the spotlight and they want to be in the news all the time, but give freaking March Madness, give these poor students, these college kids, their time to shine during the weekend. Yeah, take over the whole headlines Monday through through a Friday. Yeah, and I even forgot Selection Sunday was going to happen because it was the eve of free agency and there was trades with Jalen Ramsey. We forgot all that. But by the time Friday hits, 5 p.m. through Sunday, no more moves. Just pause. Agents, teams, players, put your life on hold for people like me, us, and college kids. Keep in mind, think of the children. Think about the kids. And
In
let
the words
them
of
play.
Michael Jordan, F them.
Yeah, let them play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the NFL. Let them play. I don't want to see Adam Thielen signing. I don't want to see CJ Garner-Johnson signing. I don't care about the third running back signing. No moves during the weekend. Let the kids play basketball and let me focus on my bracket. That's all I ask.
By the way, shout out to Jeff Miller. Every time I see some special teams player get signed, they say he's an ace on special teams. He does this, he does that. And Jeff is like, just say who the hell got signed. Why do you have to add
and everybody's having a career, coming off a career season.
Yeah.
And everybody's gonna be a star, and they're improving. And one more thing, which I already forgot. Oh yeah, if you're doing a signing over the weekend, your agent or your marketing team should be fired because you get no attention during the weekend.
Yep.
Do it on a Monday morning and get your profile higher. So no weekend signings. That's it. Done.
You could tell Gilberto never wants to be in Rappaport or Scheffner's shoes. He just wants to be chilling on a beach on the weekend, not worried about cell phones and all
the
the
a move after
No, Rap Sheet went out on Saturday and on Sunday. He said he was out doing stuff that he wasn't waiting around.
Sure.
Yeah, but you know that fool has all his phones or whatever on him or his contacts.
He probably has like 5 assistants tweeting for him. I wouldn't doubt that.
That's probably true. Well, I'm gonna go next because I really want to hear Dan. So I'm gonna go next, and here's mine. Here's part of mine.
Tell me how these randoms keep getting jobs.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna say.
I love it.
Desmond Ritter is no random, by the way.
Oh my God!
None of those passes are on target, by the way.
I'm seeing a lot of people calling the idea, and it's official.
The first pass Burley made it was like supposed to be 40 yards. It was like, they don't show it going through the air.
Bro, this is ridiculous. Oh, my bad. You're right. It's your time. My bad. I forgot.
So you're good. Don't worry about it.
We all want to bury this.
Yeah, for real. But see, this is the problem that I had, and I've had it before with Colin Kaepernick. I've had it with these. Like, I remember with Colin Kaepernick, like, dude, he looks so good. Bro, there's people in t-shirts and shorts out there. Obviously, they're going to look good. There's nobody defending these guys. Same with Cam Newton. Cam Newton, just switch positions. I'd love to see you at tight end. I think you'd be a monster at tight end. I'd love to see you for 1 year as a tight end. No, I'm just joking about that. We saw him with the Carolina Panthers and the Patriots the last year when he played quarterback. He completed 65% of his passes, 2,600 yards, 8 touchdowns, 10 picks with the Patriots. He did have a couple of rushing touchdowns. But then, he went to Carolina the next year when he was like, I'm back. He went 0 for 5. He completed 54% of his passes through 5 picks, 4 touchdowns. Come on, dude. Like, you look like you have lost weight. You look like you're in great shape, but you're Cam Newton. You're a physical specimen. But come on, dude. That's not it. Like, you've been out of the league now for what? For a whole full year. I just don't think you have it anymore. And I mean, if you want to try as a tight end, hell, I'll bring you in. And I'd sign you as a tight end. Well, I don't know about that.
Can I give you 2 points here, Fernando? Or continue if you're not done.
No. Just I mean, I'll be honest. I think he's better than Easton Stick. But I'm serious.
You're not wrong,
I think he's better than a lot of backups. Starting quarterbacks. I don't think he's better than Jacoby Brissett with the Washington Commanders. I don't think he's better than Baker Mayfield with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like, there's some guys that I think he's better at as backups. As a starter, it'd be hard for. Like, I think Geno's better than him right now too. So I don't think there's a starter. I mean, when the Jets get rid of the Manhattan MILF Hunter, then I'll say, okay, yeah, even the Jets have a better quarterback.
Fernando, I'm going to cut you out because you're having mic issues, and this is my time. I'm taking your time, so it's my time. And Cam Newton is proving my point here. Now my mic is going on, I feel like. You guys hear that?
Got a bunch of echo now.
Yeah, I don't hear it.
Maybe it should be Victor talking.
No,
but you're back on?
No echo now.
You're good. No
okay.
more echo.
Yeah, 2 points here. I think I still hear it, but whatever. Cam Newton is not thinking about the kids because he's going to Auburn's pro day and taking their spotlight.
That's
And
true. Very big scumbag.
Yeah, very scumbag vibes, right? And two, I saw people from NFL Network get annoyed. He gave all the media less than 24-hour notice to get the freaking Auburn for this workout, so he couldn't even promote that properly. He just did a little crappy edit video with a duck for a 40-yarder. So Cam Newton, you just scumbag of the year, maybe right here, early candidate. Here we go.
You know who's doing it too? DJ Fluker, former
I saw that. Yeah.
guard. He's gonna be at Alabama's pro day. So he looks like he's in great shape, and he's still only 29 years old. So maybe he can still do something. But Cam, we've seen it, dude. We've seen the product. It's just not good. But
a former MVP at a college pro day.
Yeah, exactly. That's like when Johnny Manziel was down here at USD, at the University of San Diego, not even San Diego State, the University of San Diego, throwing passes around with some of the guys. I remember my tweet blew up that day. TMZ, all these like national, like ESPN, everybody was asking me to use it and stuff. And I was like, yeah, go ahead, just give me proper credit. But like everybody was using it all over the country because they were so excited about Johnny Manziel. And I'm like, dude, he threw at a freaking Division III like college. Like, don't be so mean.
It's D1.
Yeah, exactly. But now the time that we've been waiting for. Dan, go ahead with yours.
Just to wrap up the Cam Newton thing with a bow, if you have to make hype up videos for yourself, you're not creating a highlight tape to go to a certain college, dude. Like, this just looks ridiculous. But anyway, back to my usual villain suspect, because this guy is probably runner-up if Cam Newton wins it to scumbag of the year. I am so sick of Tim Cook and Apple, because let me tell you something. Your boy Dan and Daygo on Saturday, he's on his phone rolling through Twitter. I got a lot of stuff on there. My feed's all over the place. Current events, sports, funny videos, people.
Putting together shorts?
What?
Putting together shorts?
Doing all of it. You already know what your boy's doing.
Too, whatever works
doing shorts, doing all of it. The TikToks, the Twitters. I'm going to ignore his comment and just keep going. Then all of a sudden, guess what happens? The screen goes black. It buffers. All I see is an Apple logo for a day and a half. So guess what the hell I had to go do? I had to push my ass to Verizon. I was already pissed off because Real Madrid was playing like garbage in El Clasico. No. Then they lose El Clasico. I'm at this Verizon for like 2 hours. And then on top of that, I have to upgrade my damn phone now. I am so sick of this type of – I was so pissed. I was about to go Samsung. But they're lucky I don't have enough time to actually learn how to use the Samsung, so I'm going to go with I already know. I was so annoyed. I'm so sick of Apple. I'm so sick of all this garbage. I miss the days where it was all landlines and everything else. I wish I could have lived through it longer. I just am so sick of Apple. I was cussing up a storm. I don't even know how to connect my Apple Watch. Look at this. I'm on back to regular watch, and I know it's a first world problem. But
who do you blame?
In nuisance. If these damn things are so smart, why can't they work when I need it to? What the hell's going on over here? And you know what they do? They make sure when they see old phones on their little network or something, they're like, hey, this one looks like a good one to crash. Boom, come get the upgrade. Absolutely ridiculous.
F you, Dan and Daygo.
Exactly. You know what? He probably saw me call him out in an earlier episode. He's like, oh, you want to play? All right, I got your ass.
FBI agent, get that guy.
They're listening.
Exactly.
Dan and Daygo, I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you a lot. I never get the AirPods. I'm not gonna give them the satisfaction.
No.
I
still have the old ones.
Yeah, my laptop right here has had a half a glitch here, and I haven't paid for it to fix it. Victor got me a nice phone case to record videos for my iPhone 11. It doesn't freaking fit because it's not the right iPhone 11. It's a freaking iPhone 11. How does it not freaking fit?
Exactly. It's a Max, it's a Pro, it's a this, it's a that. It doesn't make any sense.
Complicated, whatever. So I'm with you, man. I feel your pain because I've had some issues lately too. But I don't think I'm ever going to change. I don't know why.
Exactly. Because I already know it. I'm not going to switch and relearn. I don't want to switch.
That's how they get you.
I don't want to do it.
You don't want to be the green asshole.
I was going to tell you real quick. I saw the short from when I said, hey, you bring up a good point. You got so excited when I said that. You're like, oh, thank you.
Yes. Like finally for a change. And by the way, I was watching this TikTok video, like a comedy skit, stand up. between the green bubbles and the blue bubbles, and the guy pretty much said it's pretty much racism. I'm like, damn, yeah, I guess it is. We're discriminating against the green bubbles there. So
What the hell just happened? I don't even know how did we get from one to the other. But all right,
because nobody wants to switch iPhone. You have actually a non-racist reason, but we all want to stay because it's a blue bubble.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean.
There you go.
Because
Blue
of the message.
The
It's
green
blue
and the
it's green.
blue.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
oh,
I see.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
the blue's annoying. I can't send
man.
GIFs. I can't send GIFs and I can't react. It bothers me.
Yeah, I can't react. That's the worst.
All right, it's time for Una Mas. The good, the bad, or rotten avocado. Obviously, we go through this every week. Awesome to hear what you guys have to say. So, Gilbert, I'm gonna let you go first.
Yes, here. Una más, and I think we're having technical difficulties. I want to say Victor and Dan, they have the better mics. Me and Fernando are just screwing it up, and we've been talking too much. So maybe Dan and Vic take it away first.
Oh, you want me to go first? Oh, okay. Go first.
You
Vic.
sound perfect.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
Called me perfect. No, you can go first. I'm a gentleman. Don't worry about it. You go.
Thank you.
You sound amazing too.
All right. I'm going to go with the WBC. It's been a great thing to watch. I know Dan and Daygo was saying that it's not October, but
exactly.
Honestly, you look at some of the viewership that's been going on. You had in pool play, you had over a million people go and watch those games. The Oakland Athletics had 780,000 people show up for 82 games. And then you look at the viewership in terms of Puerto Rico had like 48% of their share of the people in Puerto Rico watched their game against Mexico. Then you had Japan. Actually, no, I got those wrong. The in Puerto Rico it was like 67%, and in Japan it was 48% of the people watching those games. And every game feels like a game 7. Like everybody's into it. The players are talking about how this is something they've never felt before because, every game you're at the edge of your seat. We're watching Fernando, right before we hopped on, we were watching the Mexico Japan game, and it was a thrilling win by Japan. And so like now you're looking forward to watching the championship game between the US and Japan. And so for me, it's been something, and everybody now kind of agrees that you kind of want to see this going forward a little bit more. The problem is, when do you put it? There's no like in football or soccer, like you have the perfect opportunity because the leagues are set up well where you have the summer to be able to hold the World Cup. In baseball, you can't do that. Baseball is played from the spring to the winter time pretty much, or the fall. And then when do you put something like the WBC? And so the only thing I can say is kind of keep it the same way as you have it in March, and then just have it in Florida and Arizona. Stop going to Japan. Just keep it in those 2 states, because that's where you have your spring training, and just have it a little bit earlier than that, just at the beginning of March, not in the middle. And honestly, I think it'll continue to keep up. I know there's been a lot of people saying, well, look at all the injuries that are happening, but look the Dodgers Lux for the year, during spring training. We've seen in baseball some of the dumb injuries during celebrations. I can go and tell you, like Sammy Sosa, was out for like for a month because the way his knees. You had a Rockies player who broke his leg playing with his kid. So accidents are going to happen, but as far as the WBC, I think for baseball, this is the way you promote your product, is by showing what you can do, and use this to promote your players better, because you've done a terrible job. You're losing your 18 to 35 gap there with your audience. And so this is still a regional sport. You have people who are older who still watch baseball, but if you want to get those kids between 18 to 35, 40, you need to do a better job of promoting. So I'll end it with that.
Dan, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, the soccer set up perfect, unless you're trying to hand Messi World Cups. Then we're going to change it and try and figure it out to make sure it fits his schedule. But anyway, yeah, baseball's all right. I go for 2 reasons: be entertained and get drunk. Those are the only 2 reasons I go. I went to one game sober. I went to one game intoxicated. I'll let you decide which one you think I had more fun at. So anyway, the good, the bad, and the rotten from pop culture. Not a fan of pop culture, but that's all right. I'll give you a review. Recently, what have I don't know, like nothing's popped out to me. Frown kind of stole mine again. We're sharing too many notes. That's why we're brothers, but that's all right. Recently I rewatched The Gentleman. That's a good movie right there with Matthew McConaughey. A lot of star-studded actors. And honestly, it's hilarious, especially with the way, it's funny to hear different words that, Europeans use that are obviously different. Yeah, exactly. Different connotations over there than over here. That movie, if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. Absolutely phenomenal. You will not regret your time. I was laughing through the whole damn thing. The Gentleman on Netflix, check it out. Matthew McConaughey. There's a lot of studs in there. Charlie Hunnam's in it also. I think that's his name. And go check it out.
What's his name?
Well, Guy Ritchie directs it, and I'll say that he has a movie out. I know not a lot of people are going out to watch it, but it has Jason Statham out, and then you have Aubrey Plaza from Parks and Rec who's in it. It looks hilarious. I want to go check it out. Unfortunately, it wasn't in many theaters, so I have
Colin Farrell.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he's Colin Farrell.
Oh yeah, he was hilarious in it. He's Irish. He uses his Irish accent. I love it.
Gilbert.
Yes. To go off of Victor real quick, because I was muted, and I wanted to give you your time. A little long, but it's okay, Vic. You have your time to shine. I went on mute there for a change, and also too, you missed out because you were doing a shopping list or taking shopping orders for us at the nearby. I don't know what it was, like a Ralph's or something.
Yep.
Well, I was enjoying the Game 7 like game between the Mexico and Puerto Rico. Those Puerto Ricans were angry, and if it was a good game, I was into it, and I don't really care for baseball until like October. I'm like, oh, okay, unless like Dan and Daygo, you get drunk on a random Wednesday at Dodger Stadium.
Oh, that's where they kicked 6-9 out of that game, huh?
What was that?
They kicked the Raptors 6-9 out of that game, huh?
Oh, really? I didn't even see that.
Yeah,
I saw it on TikTok that they were like Puerto Ricans were trying to fight him, and they had to escort him out of the stadium.
Isn't he like half Puerto Rican and Mexican?
No, he's half Mexican.
Oh, that's what.
Like his mom lives. Like this is what I saw from somewhere on TikTok actually. That his mom lives in like a small town. He goes back there and he like takes like millions of dollars and he just hands them out to families down there, and he tries to help families down there. And like his mom won't accept any money, so instead of giving his mom money, he gives it to the people around there, I guess.
Yeah, maybe you could have Tekashi 6ix9ine and Cam Newton appeal to the kids in baseball. Maybe they'll be the ambassadors of baseball that way.
Oh my God! You should shut the whole sport down if that's your ambassador.
But I guess my thing for the good, the bad, and the right, I'm just gonna go good because I don't care what happens and how it turns out. I didn't really watch anything because free agency and college basketball kept me busy. But I'm gonna do a quick excitement preview for John Wick 4. I don't care what happens. It's 3 hours long. I saw that and I was like, whoa, you know what? I mean, more action time. John Wick 4, I will watch that on my birthday this weekend. I already made plans for that. Can't wait to see Keanu Reeves stab people in the eye or wherever else is not a good place. So yeah, more guns and badass. The Boogeyman. I don't know how to pronounce the other one, the Russian Boogeyman for John Wick 4.
For the numbers that you desire, and a lot of you guys was desiring numbers that ain't you. What I mean by that, alignment is not wearing a single digit. That's not going to happen up under me. That's not going to happen. And if you ain't that guy, you're not wearing a single digit. Back in the day when we came up, the single digit was that guy, right? It was him. It was who he was. How can you ask the number one and you ain't the one? What number you want? 45. So who else wants 45? Stand up. Who else wants 45? That means you got to be better than him. That's simple. Okay? You better than him, you get the number. Give me another example.
Deion Sanders, you are single-handedly rescuing this sport.
Yep.
I love that he's doing this. And I commend him for doing this because we've gotten soft everywhere. The sport has gotten a little soft, and he's breeding competition. He's saying, hey, you guys are going to compete. You're not number one. Like, Deion Sanders is going to tell you if you ain't worth shit. And that's what I love. I love that about it. Let's get back to doing what football is. Football's not this a ballerina tutu wearing sport. It's about going out there and hitting the opponent in front of you. aggression. I love what he's doing. I love the tone that he's saying. I know a lot of people don't like what some of the stuff that he's been saying, but I did like this. This was very good. I thought it was, hey, we're breeding competition, but at the same time, you're not going to be flashy. And I know Dan's a coach. You know exactly, like, you don't want, like, you want everybody to feel as, like, how do I want to put this? Like, there's no divas on here. Like, you guys are, nobody's worth crap. You guys are all going to have to fight, claw, and get everything. You were a 5-star in high school. Guess what? This ain't high school. This is college. Prove to me that you're a 5-star, whatever you think you are. So I'm excited for that. I'm really going to be, all eyes are on Colorado, I think, this year. I think people are going to be excited to watch them. I'm excited to watch what he does with Colorado, but man, that video I thought was awesome, and I can't wait to see what else he has cooking up his sleeve.
I was just going to add, when I was playing high school football, our biggest competition, or the best school in the San Fernando Valley, their coach was like a legendary guy. He didn't allow anybody to wear their number 1, and like one guy that he really wanted, and he was like the biggest guy coming out of junior high at the time. He was the only guy that got that to wear number 1, and as he says, you have to be that guy to be able to wear that kind of number. And so you're right. I haven't seen players, like, now that everybody's allowed to use those single digits, you kind of have to make it a point now where, like, I see it now, and it kind of, I don't know why, but it always stuck with me, that whole the whole thing with that coach. And when I see it now, that number 1, and they're not that guy. Like, when I saw your video right now, I was like, yeah, like, that's true. Like, I haven't seen somebody who's that number 1, like, be worth wearing it.
You know what it reminded me of, though?
Cam
Remember all the
idiot. We're talking about for real.
All the scrubby positional guys that were like extras, they used to wear number 1, number 2, like receivers or other guys. Like remember during camp, and I'm talking about in the NFL, those guys are the ones that used to wear number 1, number 7. You're like, oh, number 7. Like Austin Eckler was number 3 when he first came to the Chargers a couple of years ago. You know, these guys aren't going to make the teams here. Like, oh, whatever. Yeah, just go wear a single digit. Now, obviously, they're a part of it. Now they're asking, can we wear 0? It's like, what are you guys doing? But I like this by Dion. I'm interested to see how far Dion takes this. Like, what he's doing. Like, is Colorado just another stepping stone to maybe UCLA, the NFL? Like, how far do you really want to take, or back to Florida State, which I think he's already fighting with Florida State, but he's feuding with them. But I'm definitely interested to see how far he takes this. But I know that, like I said, he said some controversial stuff that some folks don't like. This I did like. I thought it was awesome, and I hope that he's a man of his word, and they continue doing this, because I think he can really help a lot of these kids out, and he could help. The only thing I didn't like that he's done, though, supposedly, is that his son's going to be the starting quarterback. I kind of would rather see some competition first and then see. But hey, other than that, I think he has a good head on his shoulders. And I think Dion's really going to help some of these guys out the way he helped the HBCU where he was at. I thought he really did some good work down at Jackson State. He did some good work down there. I wish Eddie George would try and use his name a little bit more. I know he's the coach. I can't remember where, though, but I wish he would kind of do a little bit more. But obviously, nobody has a personality that Deion Sanders has.
I was just going to say real quick, because I know we're running long. I think the most important thing that he's bringing back is accountability. I just saw a quick video where he's coming into the weight room. I guess they have a policy of only black socks. Guy was wearing white. And while he's doing reps of something, he says, hey, put that down. Get the hell out of here. He's like, even called him Mr. White Sock guy or something like that. That's what the sport is missing, accountability. That's why I love, like, there's a reason why people flock to Saban, Kirby, Smart, and all these other guys. It's because they're going to hold you accountable and make you into the best player, hopefully person also, but you know, all the stories, best player possible so you can make it to the NFL. If you have no accountability, it's very hard to make it because you think you're the best thing that's ever happened. So accountability he's bringing back, which I'm happy for. I'm excited for Neon Dion.
And I'll just add this, because the one thing he said, and he had me sold, offensive linemen should never wear single digits. That's all. Good. Sorry, Dan. You're not cool enough.
Me. It's stupid anyway. I already told the boys I'm going to tell the boys next year. The only thing I want to see is gloves, tape on the wrist, and maybe a sleeve. And that's me being generous. I'm not going to see no stupid electrical tape all this other crap on them. We're not doing any of this
If you
razzle
were an
dazzle crap
attentive
anymore.
advisor and you're averaging 2 yards per carry, go home.
No, I don't care. I'm
Why are you
talking about
calling
the
out Zeke
offensive
like
line.
that?
Talking about the offensive line unit. Yeah,
All right, wrap it up. Wrap it up, Fernando. Let's get out of
no
here.
eye tape, no eye blacks.
So we appreciate you guys so much for checking out another episode of Compas on the Beat. Don't forget, Compas on the Beat merch.com. We're almost at 900 subscribers. You will win a free hoodie like the one Gilbert has. We also have stickers like the one that Vic is holding up. We have the hat like Dan, or we have the hat that I have.
No, not this
and
one.
we
This
have the
one's mine.
We got
shirt
all four here.
that
Nice.
Dan
Four
and
products.
Daygo has on. So don't forget to check out all that. Go be a compa, tell a compa about that. Don't forget to check out our many other shows. We got What's Up Bolts, Dan and Daygo and I. Dan and Daygo's a teacher, so I'm gonna be having him grade some of these moves that have happened. Gilbert will be joining us. We'll be talking a little bit about what's going on and all things because Gilbert has a different eye now. He doesn't have a beat writer's eye. He has a whole league view. So we got to ask him about what he sees from the Chargers. And then don't forget to check out House of Horns. Gilbert and Vic, obviously it's been very quiet, but they break down a little bit of what's going on with the Rams. Compas FC, Kim Kardashian curse strikes again. We have all that. Obviously, Real Madrid basically hand Barcelona the league. And what's happening in the Bundesliga? Borussia Dortmund over Bayern Munich right now. Hey, the boys will be talking all about that. So we got some good and Combat Compas WrestleMania. So definitely check that out. We got it all covered for you guys. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much again for checking us out. Comment, like, subscribe. Be a compa, tell a compa. Gilbert, ¿sabes qué? Vámonos.
Ya nos vamos. No more free agent signings on the weekend. Let Victor watch baseball whenever you want. Then Daygo, don't let your lineman wear single-digit numbers. Fernando, go follow Cam Newton in Auburn. Ya nos vamos, pues, vámonos.